Okay, before we get started, we'll just go over a quick few announcements. As a courtesy to your fellow members of the media, as well as the head coach and student athletes, please silence your cell phones. Please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the press conference. If you're joining on Zoom, please use the raise hand functions for questions. We'll address questions in the room first, then go to Zoom if time allows. You're allowed to take photos, but flash photography is prohibited. Recording press conferences on your cell phones or cameras is also prohibited. Now on the podium, we have Washington student athletes Avery Howe, Savia Sellers, and Elle Ladine. We'll now open the floor for questions.
On that. Percy Allen with the Seattle Times. Hey, Elle, it's a quick turnaround. What's the early scouting report on TCU?
Yeah, TCU is a really good competitive team, and I think we're kind of approaching this game like we do every other game. We have Coach Tina and our staff who does a great job of scouting, kind of just watching film on them and committing to our defensive principles, but honestly, we're just approaching it like every other game, and we're getting ready to go out there and compete.
Avery, it's probably not a exact comparison, but is there any comparison between Olivia and Juju Watkins, who you played with last year?
I think in some ways, yeah. I think they're both super high-level players, and obviously being able to play with Juju last year, that I know her game pretty well just by being on the court with her, but I'll say they have some similarities. They're both really high-level athletes, good players. I think they do different things and do different things well, but both really good players. So, yeah, we're excited to play.
Savia, since you hadn't had a question, I don't know that you have this one. Stephen Hawkins with the AP. When you look at TCU, obviously Olivia does stand out, but they had two bigs with double-doubles yesterday. They had Taylor Bibby, the guard, with a career high 27. How do you kind of prepare for a team like that has so many different weapons, and you know you can't just focus on Olivia or you might get beat by somebody else?
Yeah, I think obviously playing in the Big Ten, we've had some experience playing against teams that have a lot of multiple people that score, and so I think we're just taking it like we do every other conference game. Obviously preparing for a lot of different players that they have, but I think we have a good experience playing against teams like this.
Hey, y'all. Yesterday it felt like there was a collective mindset shift after that first media timeout. South Dakota State got off to a pretty quick start. Can any of you take us back through that timeout? Just seemed like as a group you all had decided we've had enough, and the game totally shifted after that.
Yeah, I think in that timeout, our coaching staff just reminded us of our whole week of preparation we had for how we wanted to play, the scouting report we had on them, and just kind of the principles we wanted to get back to. I think a lot of people have maybe some nerves in the first game of March Madness, so I think that's kind of just what that was. And then our coaching staff did a good job bringing us back to the moment where your feet are in the scouting report, and then we were able to go out and execute that, and then obviously that kind of led us through the rest of the game, which was pretty good for everyone. So I think that it's just about staying where your feet are, and our coaching staff did a really good job of just bringing us back to the scout and kind of all the work we had done that week.
Chucky Kemp, ESPN. Savia, obviously you can score, but yesterday it just felt like you were so at peace with kind of just driving the ship a little bit, dishing it to your teammates. I think you had one big bucket when they were on a run. You had a layup, but it kind of snapped that and got you guys going. Is that something you're aware of in the game? I don't need to score right now. My teammates are getting it done. Or is it just that's how it was flowing yesterday?
Yeah, I think it was just the way that South Dakota was defending. It was like they made it really hard to get to the rim, and we knew that. So that whole week was just kind of practicing getting off the ball early. And obviously when you have Avery that's making 7 threes a game, it makes it really easy to pass the ball. And so I think it was just kind of a game where I needed to facilitate, and I knew that going in.
Elle, having been in this program for so long, how good did it feel to get that NCAA tournament win, but now having that, not being satisfied with that?
Yeah, it's honestly a great feeling. I mean, it's something that when I committed here, Coach Tina presented that on the table. That's something we wanted to accomplish and obviously make a deep run. And so, yeah, we're kind of just being where our feet are, trying to keep going and keep this thing rolling.
Hi, guys. My name is Sydney from USA Today. I have a question for Avery. You're having a career year after transferring in from USC. What was that transition like for you, and what's clicked at Washington?
Yeah, I mean, the transition was pretty smooth, I would say. I mean, finding the right home out of the transfer portal is obviously what you want to see happen, and that's exactly kind of how it's played out for me. Washington's been a really good fit, and I think that was mainly I think culturally was a big thing for me coming out of the portal, and just Washington and my relationship with head coach, and then obviously the entire staff and teammates has been really important. And then I just think being able to play free and like confident with the people you have around you, and like with knowing your coaching staff has your back, just has helped me a lot this year. And this is why we're in the position we are, and I'm able to play free and how I have been playing this year.
Follow-up question for you. You're the first Washington player to score 30 points in an NCAA tournament since Kelsey Plum. What does it feel to be mentioned alongside her as you carve out your own legacy here at Washington?
I mean, that's crazy. I didn't actually know that, but obviously she's a really good player and has a huge legacy at Washington, so I just think that that's cool to be in the same conversation a little bit, but obviously she's really good, so yeah. Yeah.
For just any of the players, it was the first NCAA tournament win for your coach. Any idea what that meant for her, and just just the idea of her sort of notching her first win? Just your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it means a lot for her to be able to get a win like that with a program that she's turned around. But I think she's been around for a long time, and she's coached in Final Fours and had a lot of experience. And so I think to her, to be honest, it might not be that big of a deal. She's just ready to get some more wins. So.
Any other questions? No. Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, if we're going to get ready to begin, we now have Washington head coach Tina Langley. Coach, we'll have you just give an opening statement about yesterday's game and looking forward to tomorrow's game.
Yeah, South Dakota State is such a good team, and so really proud of the way our team came out and focused on the game plan at hand. I thought we did a really nice job of staying present. They came out and really came out well and strong, and I thought we were able to collect ourselves in a timeout and have a good conversation and just refocus, and shows a lot about the growth of this team, and just really proud of the way we stayed together and continue to stay focused.
We'll now open the floor for questions.
Hi, Coach. That first time out in that conversation, asked the players about that. Do you remember kind of specifically what you said and just the reaction that told you they were settled?
Yeah, just a refocusing moment. And usually when we refocus, we just talk specifically about the scout. We took a big deep breath first, but after that, just kind of focused in on the scout. And I thought they just did a nice job of giving good verbal feedback, and you knew that they were locked in.
See why you're so excited about McGoy. The performance she had, she was a big part of getting you guys back in the game. But just your thoughts on her performance yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. There was a moment in the game that she went coast to coast, and I thought she showed great confidence, and I think we really needed that moment. And so, for us, it doesn't matter your age. We believe you can lead. And so she led us well in that moment and continued to lead through the game.
Hey, Coach. Chucky Kemp, ESPN. Avery obviously has had some of her biggest games against the best teams and in some of the biggest moments, and no pressure with her standing there. But what do you like most about her?
Well, I mean, she can compete with anyone, and so I think what's really neat about Avery is the drive that she has, and everyone knows that about her. But until you've really seen it day in and day out, you don't understand. Every possession matters to her. Every moment matters to her. She's a student of the game. She has a great skill set, and she just continues to evolve.
Tina, Stephen Hawkins with the AP. You spoke yesterday about what this win meant for you guys, but now going into the second round game, you're playing a TCU team that hadn't lost at home in over 2 years, and we all know about Olivia, and then you saw yesterday their two bigs have double-doubles, and another guard has career high. How do you prepare for a situation like this? How do you get your team ready for something like that in the second round of an NCAA?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, we talked about it last night. It's not really you can look at it this way, it's not really an NCAA game. It's really a quad one road game. And so we've had a lot of those this year in the Big Ten, and we've gone into some great environments. And so just, it's really important that we treat it the same as we have all year.
How do you guys stop or slow down Olivia Miles? I mean, it just seems like she does so much for their team.
Yeah, a tremendous player. And, you know, I think obviously we're still early in our scout because we do have a little bit longer thanks to the game time. So we're going to spend some time on that. But, you know, genuinely, great player. What makes her, I think, really difficult to guard, and everyone knows, is that she can score it and she can really facilitate at a high level. And so she's done a tremendous job of that. But it'd just be up to us to decide, you know, how we want to play and if we want to maintain the same scheme for the game or if we want to change those schemes.
And then just about that game time, what do you guys do with yourselves tomorrow? And did that go into the thinking of like the practice, sort of like what you guys did with practice today, like because that game is so late?
It did, yeah. It did. We wanted to think about how to use our day well and our day tomorrow because we have 2 full days. And so, fortunately, when we played in the Big Ten this year, for some reason we did something similar. We would go out and we would play an early game when we arrived, and then we would stay and we would play a late game. And so when I saw it come out, I was like, well, that's a pattern that we're familiar with. And so we do know how to use that. So we kind of went into that same mindset of like, this is the way we use this day, this is the way we use the next day. And so we're just going to stay in that pattern.
Hey, Coach, Sydney with USA Today. I just wanted to get your thoughts on what Avery has brought to this program and just the experience she has brought from her deep run in the tournament last year.
So much. I mean, you guys get to see on camera what she brings as a player, but as a leader, I would say she brings just as much. And so from her experience to her competitive drive, the way she communicates with people, she's done a beautiful job of understanding how to communicate with each person differently. We all receive information differently. She's done a beautiful job with that. And then preparation and work and knowledge of the game. So, I mean, I could keep going, but, really a tremendous addition to our program.
Tina, I don't know how much. Do you know Mark Campbell much from his time on the West Coast?
I wasn't on the West Coast.
Okay,
when
I wasn't sure how much you
Sorry.
knew. But do you know much about what he's done here? Taking over a team that was 1-17 in the conference.
Yes.
And now he's just kind of built it. What does it say about a coach that's able to do that sustainably year after year with transfer program? Transfer portal after transfer portal, it seems like, for him.
Yeah, he's done a great job of keeping his team, very experienced, which is very unusual in college basketball. And so last year, I think they were the oldest team in the country, and this year, I think one of the oldest or the oldest. You might know.
I think they're the
oldest again. And so, I mean, that's really important when you get into tournament play and you're playing at a high level and your players have a ton of experience. That means a lot. And so I think he's done a great job of building a roster that is very experienced.
It's probably not the time for reflection because you're in it. But what did it mean to get that first NCAA tournament win as a head coach for you?
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. I mean, I loved our young ladies at Rice were incredibly talented, and we built a program there to go to the NCAA tournament, and we went, and then COVID came. And so we missed the next couple of years, really, being together. And so very similar path at Washington. We rebuilt again with really young players, and we've got to grow up together. And last year we got our first experience again, and then this year again get to come back and continue to get better. And so I think I just really am appreciative of all the young women in both programs who have come in and done something really hard and stayed together and built something special.
Hey, Coach, obviously the numbers for Savia, continues to get better and better, freshman, sophomore, now junior. But the maturity, I thought she said yesterday, you expect somebody who's averaging almost 20 a game to want to get into double figures, but just seemed to not force anything and really settled in as the point guard. I'm just curious if you can take us through where she was maybe a couple years ago to the maturity she showed yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you said it really well. I'm not sure how to say it better than that. She did show great maturity yesterday, and she has all season. I think she understands what the team needs at different times. She understood the scout really well. We knew that they were going to make us shoot the three, and we knew that she would have to create some opportunities to give us some cleaner looks, and she did such a beautiful job of that. She probably could have had a few more. We missed a few layups, so we'll work on that. But just a beautiful job of understanding when she needs to get a bucket and when she needs to create for someone else.
Any other questions?
Is it like with to like trying to slow down somebody like Olivia? Is it like all hands on deck? Do you assign one player to her and just say that's what we're gonna do? And like I'm not trying to ask you to lecture or to give away the game plan, but just how like when you have somebody like that dynamic, like do you have to invest everything into just stopping them?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games we can go back to, and sometimes it's a center like at UCLA that's really causing you some problems that you're going to need some help with, and sometimes it's a guard that's causing you a lot of problems, and she's one of the best at causing problems. And so, I think that it's a decision that we're trying to make based on how other people have played so far. There's teams that have decided to let her have her time, and there's teams that have decided to put a lot of people on her, and they've had success in both scenarios. And so you're just trying to decide what you think might be the best scenario with the people that you have in your program. For us, we've been a team that's been very aggressive defensively. I thought last game we did a nice job of turning people over. And so I think the decision for us is, how much do we go out of our own style? And I do think there's parts of our style that could be really effective in the sense of applying pressure. And so we'll probably play a mixture of both.
Well, no one has any more questions? Cool. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you so much. I hope you get lunch.
I hope so, too.
Brady, am I allowed to show this? And then...
Before we get going, I'll just read a couple quick announcements. As a courtesy to your fellow members of the media, as well as head coach and student athletes, please silence your cell phones. Please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the press conference. If you are joining on Zoom, please use the raise hand function for questions. We'll address the questions in the room first, then go to Zoom if time allows. You are allowed to take photos, but flash photography is prohibited. Recording press conferences on cell phones or cameras is also prohibited. Now at the podium, we have TCU student athletes Olivia Miles, Marta Suarez, and Donovan Hunter. We will now open the floor for questions.
Stephen Hawkins with the AP. Olivia, in between your bites there, when you look at this team, hey, enjoy the snack. When you look at, obviously you had the triple-double yesterday, but you weren't alone. There was a lot of people doing a lot of things yesterday. What does it say for this team in March, trying to get started on a March run, to have everybody kind of playing together and contributing?
Yeah, I think that's what I was most proud of. Everyone being bought in, everyone being confident. There were some games where only, a few of us showed up and, maybe a few of us had an off game. But when we're clicking on all cylinders and our chemistry is flowing like it did yesterday, we're really hard to stop, because even if someone isn't having the best shooting night, someone else was there to pick up the slack. And like I said, the confidence will carry us far in March, as long as we stay together and everyone plays as confidently as they did yesterday.
For Star Telegram, this is going to be your guys' last game at Schollmaier. You guys have achieved so much here over the season, over the last 2 seasons for Donovan and over this season for you guys. Can you tell me what your favorite memory is here playing in Schollmaier and what this arena and this home crowd has meant to you guys throughout this journey?
I have one.
What do you have?
Baylor, easily.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, that was the best game,
Easily.
favorite game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a special weekend overall. Like, not only we had the opportunity to host College Game Day, so bringing the attention to the Big 12 and to TCU and to this team. But it was also senior night, so there was a lot of important people and families and friends here. And then as the last game of the season, the community really showed up. It was packed. The energy was intense, and the team really showed up. We had a great game. We had a lot of fun playing it, especially against such a tough team like Baylor, and once again a rivalry. That always means a little bit more. And then to end it also being like that Big 12 champions, certified, cutting nets and all that. It was just a celebration of a season, just a great weekend. We had a dinner the night before too to celebrate the seniors. So it almost felt like a wedding a little bit. It was great.
Yeah, I would say the same. Cutting down nets for sure, and just being able to watch all the seniors have their senior night, enjoy the moment. All their families were here, their friends. The community was great that weekend. So I think it was just cool to be able to see them hoop on their last senior night.
Melissa Treebwasser, Frogs Insider. Donovan, when you look at Washington, their backcourt is really good. We saw what Avery Howell did yesterday here. She apparently likes our rims, Schollmaier. When you think about the challenge of defending them, you don't have to reveal who you're going to match up with, but what do you see in kind of how they play, and what, you as kind of the point of the spear defensively, what do you think you guys can do to kind of get them out of rhythm?
Yeah, I think if we're just intentional with being in our spots, making sure we have our hands in people's shot pockets, just the small little things that we have to do on defense. I think ultimately it doesn't matter what team you're playing if we're focused on the intentionality behind, okay, we're going to make sure that we're in our spots all the time, we're running back, we're defending transition, we're doing all these other things. I think our team's able to put together a game worth of good defense. So I think that's what we're focusing in on, not necessarily focusing on you have to do X, Y, and Z, but just making sure that we're focused and locked in. Washington does very well with just moving the ball. There's a lot of screen actions and stuff, so making sure that we're just talking a lot on defense is kind of the main thing that we're focused on.
Donna, I'm sure you remember what it was like last year when you guys had waited so long and get this program back to the NCAA tournament and you won a game. Do you see any similarities in Washington, a team that hadn't been there in a long time, and they got their first NCAA win, you get to play them now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they were stoked to get that win. Throwback to the Pac-12 days. I was able to play them there, and they've been a great squad still. It's pretty much kind of the same girls. They've just added new girls in. So it's cool to see them be able to have games in March and be able to get that win in advance. So kudos to them. But it is a cool experience for anybody when it's your first win in a March Madness tournament. That's just like an all-time high. So.
Hi, guys. My name is Sydney from USA Today. I have a question for Olivia. You said yesterday people called your decision to bypass the draft and transfer to TCU a dumb decision. Now that you've had this extra year, what do you feel like you've gained from it? And at the time, did that move feel like a risk to you?
To me, no. To the outside world, yes. You know, and I can't blame them. To leave what I left on the table seemed, you know, stupid and seemed like, you know, what is she doing? But I knew deep in my heart that I needed one more year to be ready, physically, mentally, whatever that may have been. And this year has paid off for me in ways that I can't even describe in that regard. And as I said yesterday, I found my joy back, my love for the game, and I found a sisterhood and a family that I'll have forever. And so I've grown in my leadership. I've grown in my game. Obviously, I'm having a career year across the board. But also I've grown in just trusting myself and knowing that I could play at a high level. And I didn't quite think I was there last year or ready enough to be a pro at that moment, but now I feel ready.
And just a quick follow-up to that. I know you're in March Madness mode, but just want to ask a quick question about the CBA being signed.
Yeah.
Have you thought or had time to reflect on what that would mean for your future and how it will impact you?
It means money, thankfully. Thankfully. Hopefully we can stay in the States too. And it's just a win for women. And it's a precedent set. And moving forward, it'll only get better. It'll only grow. And it means that women's basketball and women's sports in general is headed in the right place. So, yeah.
Chris Blake, TCU Radio. Yesterday, you guys came out as locked in as you have at any game in the season, both ends of the floor, after a 12-day layoff. What was the key to that? Anything you guys did over that week and a half that you felt helped spark that start in the first quarter?
I laughed and giggled when you were saying that because I'm wearing my 40 jersey. But kind of just focusing on you guys can say your part, but 40 minutes ultimately is what we've been wanting to place together, and we know we could. As a team, we just knew that we'd have to be, again, I feel like I keep saying the word intentional, but that's a huge thing, especially in March. So I was proud of our team, especially that long gap of time. You can, you know, start a game off slow or not have as much intensity, but I was really proud of how we came out and we were very aggressive.
Yeah, me as well. I think also the fact that 12 days without playing, it kind of had us like, we missed it. And excuse me, we're a team that has so much fun together, especially here in Scholl. Like you can tell we play a very joyful basketball, and I think we missed it. Like, I remember turning around before tip-off, just looking at Olivia like, okay, we're about to go. And you know, especially in March, it's a fun time. It's what we've been talking about, what we've been working for, and so now it's the time to just the preparation has been done. So it's the time to just let go and enjoy the game and play together, enjoy each other, have fun.
Yeah, I'd say we lost. And I think that's kind of what fueled me. Like, the fact that we lost, like, just pissed me off. But other than that, no, we just love hooping together. So we were just excited to be out there and, you know, at home one last time.
For March and Olivia, as you guys kind of look at your last time to play here, you know, we've seen the one-and-done era in men's basketball, and it, you know, a lot of times those guys show up and then they leave and then they're gone. But you talk about the wins for women, to have the opportunity to have 1 year in a place, but to have made the impact you both have made. I mean, Olivia, you own several TCU records now in your single season. Marta, it's so clear how you've adopted this community and how it's adopted you. To come in and have this kind of impact in just a short amount of time, what does that say about the opportunity for players to do this and about the way that it's been so symbiotically effective for both of you?
Yeah, I think my only goal coming here was to leave it better than I found it, and I think I've done that, and will continue to through these next few weeks. But no, it's just a blessing to be out here and to have a community that supports you the way Fort Worth does. They make it easy for us to go out and play our best basketball, and when you're playing with such amazing girls, it makes it easier as well. So yeah, it's just like I said, my main goal was to have an impact somewhere, and I'm glad I did. And I hope I have influenced these girls in a positive way and had a long-lasting legacy here.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times we talk about the transfer portal and we talk about all the negative aspects of it or the uncertainty of it. But the reality is that it's given us, for example, us three, to be honest, it's given us the opportunity to rebrand, to find our place. You're not always going to get it right. And sometimes those not getting it right are also necessary for your journey. So I think the way that it's kind of like moving towards now, you're going to have the opportunity to grow at schools and create relationships at schools, and then be able to go compete and you don't have to choose one or the other. The transfer portal allows you to get all of those experiences. Still, it's not going to be, I don't think, we're not going to be the one and done like the men do. Like, we're still going to get our degrees. We're still going to create relationships. We're still going to build teams. But then you're also going to have the opportunity to, on that one last year, those 2 last years, get a chance and exploit the NCAA women's basketball where it's at right now, and go compete at that deep level and do it. I think it's only going to increase the level of the highest teams, but it's also going to give a different meaning to the mid-majors and those other types of conferences.
Donna, I'm going to try not to use any big words like Melissa just did, but kind of building off this. I mean, when you see these 2 players that you're up here with, I mean, talk about the relationship. We see how much they seem to like each other. But talk about the relationship you've seen and how they kind of come into this program and what that's meant to them as a group and for you as a whole group, as a whole team.
Yeah, I mean, everyone from the crowd standpoint, us as teammates, you can see the bond that they have, and it's super special. I think I'm very much of a relational person, and it's cool to watch other relationships build between teammates and friends, just especially with the load that they have for our team. They have all the pressure on them to make things shake for us. The coaches are looking them to do something for us all the time, and I think for them to have a bond together, separate from just the main team in general, I think is super important. And it's been cool to watch, especially as I'm trying to gain some little tips and tricks from them. They don't know that I'm watching them in that realm of learning how to, lead teams and speak and communicate. As I'm going to be a senior next year, it's cool to see the way that they're working together, and they've had a huge impact on all of us girls that are younger than them. Even though those the same age as them, they're special people, special humans. They buy into all of us. So I'm just extremely blessed that I was able to play with both of them.
Aww. So cute. Any other questions?
Thank you. Did you guys have a chance to watch Washington and South Dakota State last night? And just what are your thoughts on the Huskies and particularly Avery Howell as you guys go into your matchup?
Yeah, we State was the first half all together here, and then we had some film sessions. I think a few of us already know Washington a little bit from Pac-12 in those days. Nolan is putting together an amazing scout. I think they have a very talented team. They know what they want to do. They've had a great competition all year long. They have good pieces. So for us, we're in a great position where we just got to take care of our basketball. We just got to do what we got to do. We don't got to do anything special. We got to keep them in front, contain. That's what we've been doing all year long. That's what we're capable of doing. And then let's see what they got for us. They got to play defense on us.
True. Good point.
Well, any other questions? Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Now at the podium, we have TCU head coach Mark Campbell. Coach, whenever you're ready, can we just get an opening statement about tomorrow's game?
One, I'm just excited that we get a chance to play another 40 minutes. And I thought we played a fantastic game yesterday and just finished a good shoot around and film session and scout. Going to be a tremendous game. Washington has a great ball club. Coaching staff's doing an incredible job with their personnel. And they've had a fantastic season. And so really, really excited to go play and with a chance to advance to another Sweet 16.
We'll now open the floor for questions.
Mark, like you said, Washington, do you see any similarities in, like last year, you guys made the tournament, it had been a while, and you won a game. Do you see any similarities to Washington and kind of what they've accomplished this season?
You know, I'm not sure how many years took over the program, but they've done a great job building towards this. I know they have a senior class that's kind of come through the program. And last year, I believe, was the first time that they made the NCAA tournament for that group. And so they're seasoned veterans. They did this a year ago. And so there are definitely some similarities. Again, it just helps anytime you've done something and you got a nucleus back. I would say for us, it's, you know, because we've done it through the portal, it's really a reset for this group. It's their first time doing it. So, no, they've done a great job, but they're an old veteran group that has been through a lot of battles together, and they're doing a great job.
You've said this many times. I mean, obviously this team goes as Olivia goes so many times, but when you have your team together, like yesterday, you had both the bigs had double doubles. You had, you know, Taylor having the game she had. What does it mean to be in March and having everything kind of playing like that for you guys?
That's the goal. You nailed it. In March, you want to be playing your best basketball. And the process of getting to that point is the team understanding each one of their games and trusting each other. And Olivia truly trusting her teammates and knowing where they want the ball. And for us to be able to, as a coaching staff, use our pieces and figure out how to do it. And it's all coming together, which is the journey of each season, is can you get your group to that point where you're playing your best basketball at this time of the year. And this group is doing that. They've been so coachable throughout this process. And you guys, it's just, you know, I talk about it, but in the portal era, that process, that journey is hard. Everybody's attempting to do it. Everybody's attempting to get it right, but not many do. And so it's a credit to our kids for them being coachable and navigating this with us. And it's awesome. It's awesome. But right now, I felt it. We've had it. But we've been playing our best basketball the last month. And so even the West Virginia game was a part of that learning process and a growth opportunity. So it's pretty fun.
Lawrence Dow, Forward Star Telegram. You guys are heading into what's going to be your last game at Schollmaier for the season, a place you've had so much success. What are the emotions going to be like, especially with the seniors like Olivia and Marta going into their final game here?
Yeah, I mean, it's bonus basketball. We did the senior night, and that's very emotional, and that's a special day. And then you end up getting to host, so it's kind of bonus basketball for these guys. And but it's a celebration. It's going to be packed. It's going to be an amazing environment, and it's an opportunity for us to punch our ticket to the Sweet 16. So there will definitely be emotions, but I don't think it's the same as senior night. That's just different. But I'm thankful that we get one more crack, that we get to be at home, and we've earned it. You know, we truly have, this group earned the opportunity to play at the Scholl with the Sweet 16 game on the line.
Coach, I Percy Allen with the Times. Is there a defense that, after 30-plus games now, is there a defense that you and Olivia just haven't seen yet? And what are you expecting from Washington tomorrow? I mean, are they going to throw, like, a lot of stuff at you, or just what do you think may happen there?
Oh, one, I got no idea. I've watched a lot of film, but they haven't changed things up. They're pretty consistent with what they do. This time of the year, I'm speaking for me. I can't speak for them. You have 1 day prep. The first game, you have all week to put in a game plan and really figure out how you want to play and attack that team. The second game, you have 1 day, a film session, a shoot around, and for us, we got to go be the best version of TCU. There might be some little things that we got to fine tune on either side of the ball, but I think it's really challenging and really difficult to make a massive game plan of how you've played all year on 1 day. So who knows? I have no idea what they'll do, but we're preparing. We've watched the film, and we're preparing for them as what we've witnessed kind of over the back end of their season.
Thank you. Sydney Henderson with USA Today. Earlier, Donovan was wearing her 40 practice jersey on the podium. How does it feel to see your team just embrace that message that you gave to them and respond with the performance that they did yesterday? Sorry.
Yeah, it's awesome. This group is they're really mature. They're a veteran group, but they understand the moment. They really do. And so when I try to always find something that's a rallying cry, but that's not a gimmick. That's something that will resonate with who they are and their maturity level. And we have been preaching and talking about putting 40 minutes together, but that's part of our process to get all these new players to understand that. And March kind of forces it on you. Because if you don't, you'll go home and your season's over. And so I thought it was the right time. I kind of had been sitting on that, and it was the right time to use it. And they've been all in. And this group wants to win, and this group has big goals in March, and they've had that since June, and now it's here. And so yesterday, I'll say this: it's as a complete 40-minute game as we've put together this year. I don't know if it's because of the jerseys or not, but the team was locked in from the beginning to the end. And so, hey, whatever it takes.
Lawrence Dow, Forward Star Telegram. What stood out to you about this Washington team that you've seen?
Oh, they know each other. They play really well together. You could tell they've been around each other a long time, and they've been through the battles. They're unique. They got 4 guards and a forward. They don't really start a true center. And then they have Princeton principles with the way they play. Love how they share the ball. But it's a group that's together and knows how to play and knows how to win. And they're a really good ball club. They're great in transition. They're great on the glass. And so the coaching staff's done a tremendous job putting that team together and figuring out a style of play and a system that works for them.
Hi, me again. Circling back to the practice jerseys, how did you come up with that idea, and will those be here to stay throughout the rest of the tournament?
Yep, great question. They are here to stay. We'll wear those all the way to the finish line. Hopefully we get another couple weeks with them. And I'm big on trying to find I love motivational stuff, whether that's a video, whether it's something to inspire them. But we've been, it's 10 months. You start in June, you're in month 10 together. And so throughout that journey, you got to find ways to help inspire the team. And so this was it's what this team needed. It's one of their challenges. They are so gifted as a group. They're so talented as a group. In some ways, this season has come easy to them. But March isn't easy. And so I just felt it was the right time, the right message for this team. And I was in the office late at night when it just kind of, it clicked. It just kind of organically unfolded.
Mark, you're going from the earliest possible starting time to the latest possible starting time. What impact does that have? And, what's your reaction to that?
I don't even know. They pick the times. I don't know if it's TV. I don't know if it's the NCAA picks it. I don't know exactly. I'm a little confused, or an 11 a.m. tip on a weekday. isn't ideal, and then a 9 p.m. tip on a Sunday isn't ideal. But you guys, I will never complain. I don't want my team to complain. It's March, and we will play at any game time, on any court, any location, any opponent. It's March, and these are young people. So there will be no excuses. It's a head scratcher. You're like, gosh dang, how do we get to 11 a.m. and the 9 p.m.? But at the end of the day, we're going to show up and we're going to be ready, and we're going to compete. And there's going to be no excuses coming from our team or our program. So that's how I would address it. But I'm going to learn what is the process and who's choosing these game times. So, and you know what? And I hope Fort Worth comes regardless of that 9 p.m. tip. It is late. Most people have worked Monday morning. But these opportunities to host March Madness here in Fort Worth at your show, it's a rare and special occasion. So I hope our community and I hope our student fan base, man, they're back from spring break. I hope we have the biggest student turnout that we've ever had in the history of TCU.
I was going to ask you, you've talked about the groups coming together, and every year it's different for you. It's been that way. What does it do for you as a coach to see the personality this team has developed, a team that generally likes each other? They get up here and it's clear that they like each other. They have a good time together, but they know when to I don't want to say not have a good time, but they know when to get to work.
It's not an exact science, you guys, putting portal teams together. I think we're as intentional as you can be as a staff of identifying players, basketball players that fit us in our system, but then trying to get the locker room right, you guys. It's not an exact science, but we study it. We're so intentional and trying to be thoughtful of making sure the leadership piece is right, the personalities, the egos, all of it. We try, but again, it's not an exact science. And just look at pro sports. They have an entire department on drafting players and evaluating them, and they study them and their families and their backgrounds, and they whiff on draft picks all the time. And literally, they have multi-million-dollar departments that are trying to get it right. And you got us up here, speed dating. They go in the portal. You got 2 weeks to try and figure out, put this whole roster together. So I don't know how we've done it. We're intentional, but it's worked, and it's worked really well. And so, I got news. We're going to be right back at it here really soon. I think it opens April 5th, and we got a whole new roster rebuild. But I do believe after 3 years in the culture and the joy and the journey that these kids are on together, you guys, I have no doubt it's going to attract the right kind of kids. And it keeps kind of snowballing and it builds on itself. And I think our product is our best sales pitch. And I think people around the country have taken notice of what we've done and what we've built. And then, I think yesterday we're one of 5 teams that's won 30 games in the last 2 seasons. And to say the list, then to be a part of it, it's UConn, it's Texas, it's UCLA. And who's the 4th one I'm missing? And South Carolina and TCU. I mean, it's incredible what we've been able to accomplish here.
Any other questions? Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
You guys, thank you. Thank you for covering us, and it's going to be a great game tomorrow. Go Frogs. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.